Hello again, folks. Welcome to a noisy edition of Between the Banks. That's right, we're out at the islands. We came to Philo. North Cove is calm. I've got some guests with me today. I've got Robert Brister, and he's pawpaw to Waylon. First cast out there with Waylon. Look what he caught. That's a speckled trout, right, Waylon? Mm-hmm. And a nice one at that. I've got Waylon under a cork with a big cockahoe. And there's our first cast, first speck. Now I'm gonna have Robert working top water and Waylon on the cork. Let's see what happens. Stay tuned. It's another Rock'em Sock'em edition of Between the Banks.
Between the Banks is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Louisiana.
What does it mean to be a Louisiana company? It means we all work where we live. It means the people we call our customers, we also call our neighbors, our friends, our family. It means we'll be here for the same people who've been here for us. We're the employees of Blue Cross, Louisiana true since 1934.
Up and down the bayou. That's how we tell you to get from one place to the other. It's a little different, but so are we in Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. And once you get here, you'll understand why our Cajun runs a little deeper. Find a piece of our story on swamp tours, fishing boats, at festivals, attractions, and restaurants. Visit lacajunbayou.com to plan your trip today. Louisiana's Cajun Bayou. Rich, natural, unapologetically Cajun. Just south of New Orleans, where Cajun runs deep.
Folks, everybody gets Between the Banks. Here's how easy it is. Go to your address bar, type in betweenthebanks.com, search, and here you are. The latest videos, services, and products provided by Between the Banks. Check it out, betweenthebanks.com. Everybody gets Between the Banks.
All right, Robert with a fish on. I got him fishing Carolina rig cockahoe. Oh yeah, nice speck. Oh yeah. And you can see, folks, you come out here, you catch fish like that. Nice 2.5, 3 pounder average size. But they get bigger than this. Still good on the cockahoe. But you can see how I've got him rigged. I've got him rigged with a cockahoe, goo, big cockahoe. I've got a 1/0 tail hook at the end. And then if you follow that leader up to my fingers, you'll see I've got a clip-on weight here, 1/8 ounce up to a swivel attached to 12-pound test line. And if you look at his rod and reel, I've got him rigged on the Daiwa 7-foot medium action with a Daiwa reel also on it. And then that's the low vis blue line by Tri-Lead Pro Speck. So that's how he's fishing. And of course, go ahead and ring it out there again. Of course, I've got Waylon rigged under a cork. Go ahead and reel your line in, Waylon. We're going to show the people how you fish. Take it through. All right, that's good. Swing it to. Okay. Hold on to your rod. There you go. So you can see I've got Waylon under the same Carolina rig but I've got the black crane swivel, and then I clip on to the leader with a 1/8 ounce weight. All my weight is under that Comel cork. I get my Comel corks from Gugu. He only sells them for $1 something. Inexpensive, but it's weighted, and it also has 2 BBs that rattle. On that 30-pound test, 25-pound test shock leader. It's a big Gugu minnow. All right, so that's how I've got my anglers rigged. But folks, do you think I have a she-dog on the line? Look at it over there in the gunnel. So I keep that she-dog handy so I can toss it around, see if I can locate fish. You can see we're ducked into the North Cove where all the pelicans and seagulls live on Philo Bruse. We're here because we got a heavy south wind blowing, and I want that south wind's blowing. I'm on the north end of Philo. Remember, Philo runs north-south, so no matter which way the wind's blowing, I can get in protected water that's clean, that holds fish, that has bait. That's why we're catching speckled trout. So, you know why now, you know who. I'm going to tell you why I picked this spot out on the next fish. Stay tuned. Got one coming on the end of the boat. Oh, there it is. Oh, nice back. Oh, nice back. Get over. There you go. All right, we're Carolina rigging. Cockahose now. Sun's up. And I tell you, we're really working hard for our fish here. And it's because when we got to the spot, it was typical. We got to the spot here early, nobody was here. And then the traffic came, and what happens? They just come pulling in with their big engines and making all kind of noise. So we're patiently waiting for the bite. Boy, I got my hook in here, big time in the net. All right, so I told you I would show you some of the things that are great about why I selected this spot to fish. Okay, so the good thing about Philo Bruse is no matter which way the wind is blowing, you can get in protected water. So this morning I had a heavy southeast to south wind blowing, so I'm on the north side of the island in protected water. And that's important because the water is going to stay dirty where those waves are breaking. It kind of turns over the bottom, makes the water dirty. Here, the Gulf Green water is prevalent. And here I've got a lot of underwater points. Take a look at my point here to the left. You can see the pelicans right on the point, swimming. You can see all working right there where that point is to the right. That's an underwater point. Erosion during the winter time has eaten up this point. So that's where we're casting. We're working that underwater point with Carolina rigs. Now, if you look really good on the other side of the island, on the other side of the point, look at all those pelicans sitting on the water out there on the other side of the island. But right on the other side, just past the point, you see them all on the water. So that's going to be the next area I'm going to because there's slicks out there and everything else. But the only thing that's going to ruin your fishing when you come to the island is going to be the traffic. People don't realize when you come to the island, you got to drop your anchor and see. Only time I use my trolling motor is to move to another spot, but then I'm going to drop my anchor. When you come in with your big engine, you spook the fish. So all of that traffic and stuff can ruin your fishing. but you gotta be patient and hang in there because you're gonna have another bite. And when that happens, hopefully you won't have people running all over the place and spooking the fish and riding on top of the point that you're fishing and everything else. We've already had 2 boats come over that point that I just saw you. Just pull up with their big engine running, stop, make a few casts, and then leave. Gotta be patient, folks. Patience puts fish in the boat. All right, so that's why I chose this spot. I knew I was gonna have a heavy southeast wind. I knew the north side of Philo Bruse would be calm, slicks everywhere. In fact, let's swing around and take a look at the back of the boat. And look at this big slick that's coming towards you. Look at that shiny water on the surface. Now that's bait, that's fish that are eating, regurgitating, pooping, and the oil rises to the surface. It could be a school of pogies, any kind of bait, but it sure is an excellent sign that the fish are here. All right, stick with us. Birds nesting all over Philo Bruse. Pelicans, seagulls, wrens, all kind of fishing, all kind of birds here. Stick with us. Nice speckled trout. Check out this speck right here, folks. Oh yeah. Getting towards the net, out from under the boat. Oh, there you go. There's a Philo Bruse speck. Nice fish, Robert.
Thank you.
There you go. That one's gonna push 3.5, maybe even 4. Good fish. Now folks, I'm gonna be honest with you and tell you that we've been plagued with boat traffic here. A lot of people pulling up to us. One guy pulls up with his stereo on. I mean, really spooking the fish. So I broke away from him and came to a secondary underwater point. I'm gonna show y'all these spots on the map feature, so stay tuned. There's speckled trout number 4, and we're really having to work hard for it. Robert, how'd he hit you?
Just barely hit it and just a little thump, and that was it.
A lot of times, folks, when you get in the heat of the day, the fish will mouth it. They're not aggressively hitting. You gotta be able to feel it. And the way Robert's set up with his Carolina rig, he can certainly feel it when you start biting. One other thing that I do, whenever I take out crews, guests, check out what I got here. All right, Robert, I'm gonna get you another minute. Got an umbrella that attaches to the rod holders and comes up and keeps this area of the boat nice and cool. And that's where I've got my boy sitting right here enjoying the cool day and the cool Gulf breeze. So we're rigged, we're waiting on these fish. We're gonna get them. Stay tuned. Another one on, Robert. Good job, bro. Oh, big fish. Big fish. Oh yeah, another big speck. Wow. Another nice speck. Another nice speck. They're hitting it hard now? Or
Yeah.
still light?
A little light, but it's up as soon as you throw it out.
You can tell, huh? All right, fish are on. I'm gonna rebait him up and get back out there, another speckled trout. Now, let's go walk to the back of the boat and I'll show you my big minnows and stuff on the Pathfinder. You can go down that side right there. All right, just hang on to that for me. Wait a minute. All right, in the back of my boat, I've got my fish box right here where I can lay in my specks. And this is also a big, huge live well. So if I want to keep redfish alive or anything like that, I can. But this is the most important part of my boat. Huge live well. I mean, and you can keep big, fresh bait alive real easy. So, all things that you need, and what I do is I clip a bubbler on the bucket right here just to add some more bubbles so I don't have to run my pumps and make noise and spook the big sow specks. Just thought I'd give you a closer look at how I keep my bait alive. Stay tuned. He's bowed up. Check him out, folks. Bowed up. Might have a big rat on here. But you never know. Out here, it could be a big speck. So he's doing the pump and grind. Picture perfect. Check him out. Pulling back and reeling down. Pulls back, reels down. When the fish takes drag, he doesn't reel. Broke it? Oh, goodness. Let's see what it was. Oh, short. Or cut it right at the end here. Cut it at the hook. All right, I'm gonna put another hook on the line and get him baited up. Robert, come on down here. Oh, good thing I was guiding you there. All right, good. Take a walk that way. Folks, I'm gonna let you look, give you a shot at what I'm fishing here. See this point? This point comes all the way out underwater. You don't see it, but it's there. And what we're doing is we're casting over the point. It hits and we're pulling the bait over that point where the old bushes used to be, and that's where the specks are hidden. They're relating to that underwater point. If you didn't know that point was here, you pass it. But on the map feature, I'm going to show you right where this is, so stay tuned. We're getting back out there. Fish are on. All right. Another nice one. Another nice one. It's one thing about coming out to the islands, folks. Boy, look, he hit it. He hit it. Waylon, would you go the backpack there on top of the tackle box to see my pliers? Would you get them for me and bring them up here? On top of the little tackle box in the back, right by in front of the buckets. See the buckets? Is the pliers up? There you go. Come on up here and bring that to me. Look, he got it way down in his mouth. Okay, turn right here. All right, now I'm going to ask you a really hard question. Are you getting tired of watching your pawpaw catch all the fish?
Kind of.
No, I know you got to speak loud now.
Kind of.
No, come back over here. Now look, you caught the first one right when we pulled up. But you haven't caught any since then. You've been just having a good time perusing around Captain Bob's boat, right? Checking out the depth finder and all the fish that are on it. And just having a good time sitting over there under the shaded umbrella on the boat. Yeah, just a wonderful time out here, huh? Okay, good. So, you don't have to fish. You can go back and hang out on the leaning post like you had. And just check out all my gauges and stuff. Just don't hit any of the switches. Catching specks, folks. Stay tuned. Waylon may not want to fish, but he's enjoying seeing his pawpaw catching fish. See all those fish? I mean, they got a bunch of fish on that depth finder. And look, big ones, small ones. And do you know what the numbers mean? Okay.
Yeah,
So 4.0 is what?
4 foot.
4 foot deep. Very good. Now you got to speak loud. Now what's this number right here? 75.4. What do you think that is?
I don't know.
Okay, so that's your water temperature at the surface. 75. Oh, dead. He's getting a bite again. And then you see this 0.2010. See how it's changing?
Yeah.
You know what that is?
No.
That's how fast the water's going by. So it tells me whether the tide's still moving or not. It's a good barometer right there. So, and then all the fish. So I think when I do the map feature, I might have you do the pointing, okay? You think so?
Mm-hmm.
All right, now, one last question here, Waylon. What is this?
It's an alligator tooth.
Oh, you gotta speak loud. It's a what?
It's an alligator tooth.
Oh, alligator tooth. Brings you good luck? Okay, good. So does that mean we're gonna catch a lot of fish today? All right, folks. Forget all the stuff I've taught you. Get you an alligator tooth, and you'll catch specks like this. And look, he's on. Let me come over here and get the net. Got another one coming. Oh, look at this. It's Mr. Baby Redfish. Got reds here too, folks. Bull reds, rat reds, just all kind of reds. But usually the reds will go ape when the tide's running out. They like a low tide. High tide is speckled trout time. Now, let me get you another minute. Don't forget, specks, 25 per person, gotta be at least 12 inches. Reds, 5 per person, and you can have 1 over 27 in your 5. Keep that in mind. We're gonna rebait up. Stay tuned. Our luck is changing. We got an alligator too.
Boudreaux's Waterfront Motel. Dock your boat at the end of the pier right under your room. Set up your grill. Got your own fish cleaning station, your own ramp. And for big groups, enjoy the sunset at the Boudreaux House. Boudreaux's in Leeville.
Griffin's Marina and Ice has bag, block, and blown ice for whatever size boat. Both dockside and roadside ethanol-free fuel, convenience store, breakfast, crispy chicken, all conveniently located in downtown Leeville.
Renovations is your complete marine center for sales, parts, and service. Pathfinder, War Eagle boats, Minn Kota Motor Guide trolling motors, Power Pole and Minn Kota anchoring systems, pumps, trailer parts. Renovations will keep you on the water. All right, folks, here's the map feature brought to you by Lawrence. You can see we're in about 6 feet of water here. We've been working 4 to 6 feet. Surface water temperature 73.1. We've had clouds for 3 or 4 days, so that's why that surface water temperature is way up there, or I should say low. And then you can see we really got a screaming high tide coming in, pouring in, almost 4/10 of a knot. And look at the tremendous amount of fish on sonar. I mean, it's just jam-packed. Okay, so let's go over pages. Head over to map, enter. Okay, so this gives you an idea of Philo Bruse. Why do I fish Philo Bruse Island so much? Because it's only 4 miles from Deep Bayou in protected water. So it's an easy run. Castet and the other islands that are further south, Timberlair, take a lot longer to get to them. But you can see my spots that I faithfully fish. The boats on this secondary point, I'm going to zoom in so you can really get a good look. You can see I'm just on the other side of the underwater cut. And then you can see all the marks on the other end. So what I'm doing is we got a southeast wind blowing. I'm on the west side of Philo Bruse in the protected water because it's clean. It's that beautiful Gulf green and it's bait filled. So for this point and this far point where we started this morning, let's check out coordinates. Okay, so this is north 29, 11, 208, west 90, 20, 862. There's your coordinates. There's the map feature, brought to you by the great folks at Lawrence. Don't forget Philo Bruse Island, north and south, lies north and south. So southeast wind, southwest wind, west wind, you can always fish somewhere around this island because of the protection. I'm gonna move to the south point, this big sandbar that you see in yellow. I'm gonna go fish that. Stick with us. There's the map feature brought to you by Lawrence. Okay. All right, so that's what's under these sitting birds, small males. Now, you know how I know that this is a male? Guess. Guess how I know that this is a male? He's croaking, huh? You hear that croaking? Put your ear up there, I'm gonna hold the bitch. You hear that? Mm-hmm. That's a male. That's a male speckled trout. They're the smaller of the speckled trout. The females, like we've been catching, are really big. This is a small one, the buck male. And then all the birds that have been sitting here under the shrimp, we know that's what's going on. So what's Captain Bob gonna do? I'm gonna make a move over to another spot on the other side, on the south side, see if we can get into some bigger fish. This one, he's not 12 inches. In the water he goes back. The life of fishing. All right. Let's go see what's on the south end of Philo Bruse.
That's my first time catching a shark.
Okay, now I'm gonna try and grab this shark. You really gotta know what you're doing when you do this because you don't want to get bitten by the shark, okay? But I'm gonna teach you some things about the shark. Okay, hold your rod up like that. Just keep him right there. Okay. Now the reason I raised him up like that is because I knew that shark have sharp teeth. I knew that he would cut the line right at the hook. Okay? But that was a nice shark, huh, bruh? Okay. I know you had a good time behind the console looking at all the electronics and the switches and the power pole and just all kind of stuff. There you go. All right, Robert.
Yes, sir.
And of course, here's the man that made it all happen, Robert Brister, out here with his
Grandson.
All right, that's your pup. That's your pawpaw. I'm a papoose. All right, so it was a blast having you on the board. Give me 5. There you go. You're the man. Robert.
Yes, sir.
Enjoyed it as always. A little tough fishing this morning.
Yes, sir.
But we hung out and we're gonna hit this point here on the northeast side, see if we can pick up some more specks. So we'll see y'all next week with another edition of Between the Banks. In the meantime, good luck fishing.